how can a business that specializes in internal family systems and psychedelic therapy benefit from having an online business? This and a whole lot more you're going to be learning in my conversation with Valentina Manini. I hope you like it. Another day, another great customer that is joining me today, Valentina Manini. I am going to go ahead and just give you the microphone, allow you to present yourself to our viewers, and just tell us a little bit more about you and what it is that you do.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for having me. So what I do is a little, it's something that is being talked about a lot, which is psychedelic therapy. But like to the core of it, I help people who feel trapped in a life that like they know that it's not them. They know that there's something holding them back. They usually know that there's childhood trauma involved in the whole thing. They usually have a lot of awareness. They've tried a lot of things. And when those things don't work, they usually look for either psychedelic therapy or they look for internal family systems, which is the model of the mind and the therapeutic methodology that I use in combination with psychedelics. So, yeah, that's pretty much.
I was just telling Valentina off camera that I know nothing about psychedelics. Like I've heard stories about friends that have tried these things, but I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really keen on learning more. So who would you say these sort of therapies are for?
That's a good question. I have all kinds of people stepping through my door. Usually when they do, I already know a few things about them. I know that they're very smart people. I know that they tried a lot of things. And I know that they are the kind of people who have a knowing about what's missing in their life. And they came for one reason to the other to the conclusion that what they're doing is not really helping or it's not bringing them where they want to go, or they feel really very limited in what they can do in their life. And both internal family system and psychedelics allow to go to the core of symptoms. So I don't know if a person is crippled by anxiety. Yeah. Stop me,
so
please.
Let me ask you, what's the difference? What's the difference between internal family systems and just doing psychedelics?
Yes, actually, the main difference is that in psychedelics you take a substance, and in internal family systems you do not take any substance, but it actually brings you to very similar places in the subconscious, which is places that are usually very hidden underneath a lot of protection.
So you said that with psychedelics, you take a substance. This might be a really silly question, but what does that substance look like? Is it like a pill or what is it?
It depends on what you take. It can be a pill. It can be an infusion, like in the case of ketamine. It can be a brew from the Amazon. It can be a mushroom. So it really depends on what you decide to take.
And when you try, again, this is me being completely ignorant in this subject, but when you try psychedelics, what is the main goal? You're obviously a therapist. So when someone comes in, how does that process look like for you? Do you think, okay, I'm listening to someone and I think that giving them the opportunity to try psychedelics as a mean of therapy, what does that process look like? What does someone need to be feeling in order for you to say, okay, I think this is a good candidate for them to try psychedelics?
Yes. There are all kinds of people taking psychedelics for all kinds of reasons. So I would not like to restrict but like in my case, people feel that they need to take psychedelics when they've tried different kind of therapies and they did not get to the core of the problem. So they feel that they're just scratching the surface of it, of anxiety or depression or any other way, or like toxic behaviors that they have, and they know that they are damaging themselves, but they cannot just stop. Or, of course, addictions.
So psychedelics can help with addictions?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you get addicted to psychedelics?
That's another good question. Let's say we can get addicted to anything that makes us feel better. That said, there are a lot of very socially accepted things that we can get addicted to that are not necessarily good in any way. But with psychedelics, it's a bit more difficult to get addicted because many psychedelics actually confront you with a lot of things that are buried and hidden, a lot of stuck emotions, and it brings you to places that are by no means pleasant. It might bring to pleasant places, but the work that I do tends not to bring to the pleasant places. It tends to bring to the really difficult, emotionally charged places in the subconscious.
Okay, I think so. I will have recorded like a little intro and outro, but I do want to put people into even more context about why is it that we're talking about psychedelics and Thrive Themes channel. But we're gonna get to talking about your business in a minute here. But is this what you've been doing for your whole career?
No, actually, no, that's a too long story, I feel. I started with environmental sciences, then I became a developer. So I was a Java developer for a little bit, then I went into testing, and then I actually went into corporate management, but still in the IT field. So I was the head of mobile testing for a big corporation at the European level. So I come from, yeah.
Is this your full-time job now?
Yes, it is my full-time job now.
Is your job, so is your primary income source the therapeutic aspect of this whole process, or do you make money like selling psychedelics, or
No,
are you just a therapist?
it's just the therapeutic work, and honestly, a lot of the people who come to me are interested in the model without psychedelics, which is internal family systems. And then some of the people are also interested in the psychedelic therapy or psychedelic therapy, basically. Yeah.
That's interesting because they do sound like completely different things. Do they? Is there like a middle ground where psychedelics meets internal family systems, or are they completely different therapies?
No, they like there's it's like if they bring to the same places in the subconscious, and that's why it's actually they're almost the same thing. They're just different ways of going to the source of the pain instead of just managing the symptoms of the pain. And like the symptoms of the pain are anxiety, depression, addiction, and when you just manage the symptoms, you're not actually resolving anything. You just learn coping strategies.
So let me ask you this. You have a background as a programmer, you've been in the corporate world. How do you get started with something like this?
I had generalized anxiety.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me
So
more, please.
it started as a way to find a solution to my problem that, gold standard therapy is cognitive therapy. And it did not help a bit with generalized anxiety. It helped a bit now, to be fair, a bit. But it did not help with me feeling any kind of purpose in life, with finding motivation, in actually finding a way I could feel good with myself when I was alone. And so this came from my need to free myself from the prison I perceived was myself. So,
And did you find that, that level of meaning and purpose through internal family systems or through psychedelics? I'm probably asking personal questions at this point. You don't have to answer if you don't want.
I have a YouTube channel. I don't mind.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I started with psychedelics, but that helped again a bit, but it did not really help the way that I thought it would help. So it was not the full package solution. And it's only when I then met internal family systems, in which I had a period completely without psychedelics, that then my anxiety actually relieved itself. Even though then, there are layers and layers and layers, and I realized I'm really interested in going down all the layers. And that's when then at some point the work between internal family systems met psychedelics, and then it just, I don't know, I felt like it blew my mind in many, many different ways, the potential of what it can do.
So let me ask you, I'm going to be brutally straightforward. What is your primary source of revenue right now through your online business?
It's internal family systems therapy and psychedelic therapy. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you do these mostly online or in person?
I could do both online and in person. And there were moments in which I had more online than in person. But when I feel into the happiness of where I am, I work mostly in person right now.
Gotcha. But you do offer that online consultation if someone needed.
Yes. Yes.
So, because my next question...
Preparation and so what I offer online is mostly working with internal family systems as it is, and then preparation and integration of experiences in which I'm clearly not present.
Gotcha. Because my next question was going to be, how does your online business tie into your entire business?
Yes. On one side, I can still do preparation and integration, which I actually prefer doing in a group format because, I feel that working online, in a group format, it really allows also people to connect individually to the reality of what being human is. And very often we give ourselves a hard time for things that actually belong to the bucket of being human and not being an individual.
Right. And so you do have, because I'm looking at your website right now, you do have trainings, online trainings as well.
Yes.
Is that
many different kinds of trainings? Yes.
Is that something that's currently being powered by Apprentice, or are you using something else?
So years ago, I had a membership that was powered by Apprentice. And then I discontinued that part of my business to go all into the in-person building of my business, which is now just to give an understanding. Right now, I'm fully booked. I have a waiting list of 6 months. So that's how the business
Okay,
works.
you're busy.
Yes, I'm busy.
That's
good.
But
the online portion, I mean, the reason why I have a YouTube channel, I do feel a calling for sharing a lot of this information.
How big is your audience on YouTube right now?
It's horrible. I basically started taking it seriously. I don't know what that is, 3 months ago. So right now I have 65 subscribers, but my reach is higher and higher. I'm sorry.
All right. So I want to take a quick step back here. So you obviously have a background in computing. Was it really hard for you to get a website up and running? And why did you pick WordPress as a place to build your website on?
That's a really good question. I think I wanted to have more control on what I would create. And the other solutions felt like a toy. If that was the feeling, they were just toys that you had just a little bit of things you could play with, but you didn't have full control, or you couldn't really choose exactly what you wanted. but I knew what I wanted, and so I was not really happy with the choice. I wanted something more serious. And like I designed websites for fun in my late teens. So I knew what that was about, basically, right? So I started with WordPress. I hated WordPress, and very briefly after, I found Thrive Themes at the time, and like I just fell in love with it. I mean, I cannot describe it in any other way.
To be honest, that sounds like the story of all of our lives. We all start using WordPress. We hate our guts out of it because it's just not very.
Yes.
And then you find Thrive Themes. So let me ask you: was Thrive Themes like one of the first, or Thrive Architect, one of the first plugins that you discovered, or had you tried something else prior to discovering Thrive Architect?
No,
Or
I tried something. I tried something else after trying Thrive, just because one of my business coaches was using it. I think it was Divi or something like that.
yeah,
I tried that one. I found it horrible. And I mean, it was designed well. Like design was very cool. But when you got to really the usability of the product, yeah, I was in testing for 15 years of my life. So like software testing. So that really didn't, no, like when I have to click 20 times to get to an option, that's like you've lost me a while ago.
I'm looking forward to hearing some feedback from you on our product, since you have a lot of experience in testing. But we'll get to that in a second. So, did you find any issues with Thrive Themes as you were starting? When did you get into Thrive Themes? Actually, let me ask you.
I think it's 7, 8 years ago, seven maybe.
Okay,
I don't
so
know. I
it's
wouldn't. It's a while.
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so you've had, is the website that people can currently visit the one that's been up and running for all this time?
No way. No way. I think the first 2 years I was actually just trying to understand what I wanted to do, because I knew I wanted to coach. But at the time I didn't have formal training in internal family systems. I trained in a couple other models of the mind before I got to internal family systems. So I just knew that I wanted to help others to get to the degree of freedom I could get for myself in my life. But it was not really clear what shape it would take. Also, I had twins in between, so life was busy.
Okay. And today, let me ask you, because you're obviously doing very well, you're busy for the next 6 months, but how are you using the online side of your business? Are you using your website to try to get more in-person leads, or are you using your website to try to get online leads?
Yes, right now I'm pivoting because I reached the point of saturation clearly, because I have a 6 months. I have a 6 months waiting list, but I get new people almost every week, right? So it's insane. So right now I'm pivoting, right? I love what I do. And at the same time, I can see that I cannot help the amount of people that ask for help. And now I'm actually mostly talking about people in the city where I live. So this is not even being like really advertising myself to the rest of the world. So right now I'm pivoting. I'm spending time on my YouTube channel. All the YouTube video, of course, I want to use the potentiality, like the full potential of the blog, to have video posts, audio posts, blog posts, to create like more of a content value in that sense on the website. And then I want to use Thrive Apprentice to create cohorts, basically. I'd like to have cohorts both for internal family systems to help people learn the model in an experiential way, but also then to support people in that preparation and integration of experiences.
Because right now it sounds like you're facing a problem, right? I mean, you've hit peak saturation where you can't continue to grow because you're already swamped. I mean, there's so many hours that are in a day. Have you
Yeah.
thought, I mean, you have already touched on some of these things, but have you thought about how are you planning on perhaps leveraging your website to try to expand, like continue to grow your business without having to take on more hourly consultations or, work overnight?
I did, and I even created a membership earlier this year, but I shut it down because one thing that I keep finding myself in this business is that I forget to have fun. And when I work with my clients in person, I love it. It nurtures them, but it nurtures me, and I learn so much, and I love it, and I feel it. But then when it comes to create things online, I created this membership, and like I just hated I just hated what the work that I had to do. And yes, I love the hour and a half that I spent with the people, in the group call. But everything else, it's just no way. But that's actually one of the things that I find most important in the online branch of my business is to try things out as fast as I can so that then I know, like, do I actually like it or not?
That's fun. Most people, you're actually in a privileged spot because most people try things quickly to see if they can make money. You're actually trying things quickly to see if you actually like it. And I
Well,
think
that
that's
was a
brilliant.
process. That was a process. Say, a very long process. And in the first, I think, 5 years, 4 or 5 years of my business, I was also like everyone else trying to make money because, of course, if you don't make money, that is not viable, and then you cannot even keep doing what you're doing, right? But at some point, that was a very pivotal in my business trajectory. I always follow the very widespread advice, go where the fear is. And I would do that consistently, right? I would post on social media, I would make videos, like I would do all the things that was she scared of, which also meant I had to do a lot of self-development work to be able to do those things because there was a lot of fear and resistance. And then one day I realized that if I would keep going like that, I would have just spent my life feeling fear
That makes sense.
because that's what I kept pursuing.
Right.
And and so I asked myself, like, okay, what if this was fun? What if I actually what if it was easy for once?
No, yeah, that makes sense.
And so I followed what felt right in that moment. And in that moment, it was to stop focusing on the online business and putting it all on the in-person business. And that's when everything started to go right for me.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really, really looking forward to see if I don't know, perhaps you and I can brainstorm some things, or perhaps people in the comment section can help you out as well. But I do think that there has to be a way for you to have online, I mean, to have fun online while expanding your online business, because despite the fact that you may love what you do, what you're doing in person, I would personally get worried if I've hit like that peak that you're talking about where, I've run out of hours. I mean, I can't help more people. I've got like a 6-month waiting list. That's good news and bad news, right? Good news is there's a lot of demand for your work. Bad news, there's only one of you in this world.
Yeah.
There's only so many people you can help. So I don't know. Let's see if we can help you out there. Okay, Valentina, I've got good news. You're going to be CEO of Thrive Themes for a full day. You've got unlimited resources. You've got all of the money in the world. If there is something, it could be like a new plugin, a new tool, or it could be like a new feature that you want to add into our existing suite of tools. What is that one thing that you would create or add?
Honestly, I mean, you probably have heard it already a lot, and I'm sure that you're already thinking about this a lot. But I will start thinking of how to integrate AI into the workflows.
Okay. Is there a particular thing that you would like to be able to do with AI?
Automate things definitely.
Okay.
But then, I mean, it's just like apart from Thrive Themes, the tools that I use the most in my business life are AI and Notion. Like, so
So just find ways to automate tasks within Thrive Suite using AI.
in a way to automate and in the other way to support, right? When I'm writing a blog post, yeah, of course, I can copy stuff from ChatGPT back to Site Themes, but if that was integrated in Site Themes, well, that would be one less, one less thing to do.
Taking notes. Okay. All right. Well, we've hit our rapid fire questions. This is a particular section that I actually really like because it allows me to get to know you a little bit better. So these are 5 or 6 questions. Don't take a whole lot of time to think about the answers, just quick answers. You ready?
Yes.
Awesome. What's your favorite Thrive Suite tool?
I'd definitely say Apprentice.
Okay, that's good. I think you're the second customer that says apprentice over architect. So that's good. Hey, good stuff. What about, I think I know the answer because you've already mentioned this, but what is your favorite productivity tool?
Notion.
Notion, right? I figured. Are you on social media?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Any particular platforms that you enjoy using for business?
YouTube and yeah, it used to be also Twitter, but it's being slaughtered. So yeah.
Yeah, we invest a lot of resources on YouTube as well. I think it's a great platform. Do you have any entrepreneurs that inspire you?
Yes, definitely. Tim Ferriss, for sure. Ali Abdal, for sure.
Okay.
And maybe he's not very known, but Brian Johnson, who created the whole heroic movement.
I don't know that I know Brian Johnson. I've actually reviewed a lot of Ali Abdal's sales pages here on our YouTube channel. And I have a book from Tim Ferriss like somewhere here in the back. Yeah. Okay, what's one book that everyone should read?
And now, of course, I go more a little bit into my field and not in entrepreneurship, but I say The Myth of Normal of Gabor Mate.
Okay. Don't know what that book is.
Very good societal deep dive and analysis and understanding. Yeah, it's a good
Cool.
book.
What about a movie?
I'm not so big on movies. Maybe The Truman Show, just to stay on the
That's a good movie. I like that movie. Okay, and last but not least, are there any marketing trends that you're excited about?
I'm really excited about AI, even though I'm a bit concerned about the implications on jobs. It's like what it's gonna bring in 10 years. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think your niche is probably one can AI really like find its way through you into your niche?
Oh, I'm so not worried about my job. No.
Yeah, I was like, your job sounds pretty safe.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more concerned about mine.
Yeah. But somehow, I was a tester and a developer, and like, so my heart goes out also for those people, and it doesn't. So, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm really thrilled about AI. I think it's going to be big. Despite the whole AI mania that we've already experienced. Anyway, Valentina, it's been an amazing pleasure. I want to thank you for joining me here today. I think it's been an interesting conversation. I mean, I don't know that many of our customers would have expected me to have a customer, hop on our channel and talk about psychedelics and internal family systems. So I think it's been fun.
Yes, it has been definitely fun, and thank you for your questions.
Is there a website that people can go to learn more about you and your work?
It's valentinamanini.com.
It's going to show up on screen as well, so that's cool. All right, thanks again. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm on a mission to speak with as many business owners that are powering their online business with Thrive Suite. If you're using our tools to build your online business and you want to sit down with me for 20-25 minutes and just have a coffee online and talk with me about how you're using our tools, there's a link in the description box that you can click on to do so. I truly hope you liked my conversation with Valentina Manini. There's a link in the description box that you can find as well if you want to learn more about her business, and I will see you soon. Thanks again. Bye.